All right, hey, what's up, guys? I am going to show you something here real quick that I've been working on. Of course, my Discord, they already know about that. I'll put a link in the Discord below if you're interested in it. This is in a beta phase, and I'm going to show you what I'm looking at on tokens like XRP, HBAR. I'll show you some long setups. Mostly what we're looking at is spot plays, but I'll also show you some shorts that are coming up because I do believe we're probably going to dip one more time. And so none of this financial advice, but I am showing this to the public. And, I'm also this is mostly intended for our Discord, just to kind of show them why I entered HBAR and TAO yesterday on a spot play. But understand that this was just a small entry. This is just like dollar cost averaging. The bottom could be in, but I think there's probably one more dip left. We'll just have to see, if the 4-year cycle timing, even though we're not in a true 4-year cycle right now, but if the timing works out similarly, like it always does between the tops and bottoms, like I've explained before, then you'd be looking at, right around October 6th for the true bottom to be in, before this next pump. So we'll see. That would be wave 5, I believe, if that were to happen. But I don't really go into Wyckoff, so I'm not going to speak much on that. So let's just jump through a couple of these charts, and I'll show you what my app is going to show you here. It gives you plenty of information to where you can make a better decision. So if you were seeing this on XRP, you see it's developing a kind of a support base here on the 2-day chart, which I love to look at the 2-day chart because it gives you a lot of information where you're not having to jump in and out of a play, like all these little pumps that happen up to the 21 EMA there on that blue line. And you can turn any of this off, and you can turn all this off if you wanted to, or if you just want to put the support resistance levels or just the cloud there. So if we're just looking at the 2151 cloud, what you're looking at is there's not much volume right now. MACD is starting to turn up, but it's still bearish overall. So this thing's going to tell you everything, 1 and 4 hour must agree. Currently, it's kind of muddled. It's just telling you that, it's kind of bearish, it's kind of bullish. Now, if you were to see bearish on both of these, on the 1 hour and 4 hour, then you wouldn't want to touch it. But if you see bullish on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, even though the daily is still bearish, then that could indicate that it's time to get into it. And it kind of gives you an expected, like say if it does get bullish, which is a 9% chance currently, versus a 29% bearish chance, and then neither means that it's just going to chop sideways for a while. That's 62%. So that's the more likely outcome. It could still dip a little bit more. There's a very low chance that it pumps all the way up to 134 right now. Is that what it says? Yeah, 134. Bring that a little bit closer. So it does have a predictive element to it, but you need to be paying attention to this over here as well. You can't just say, okay, well, it's going to go up and that's where I'm going to take my profit. Yeah, that could be a great place to take profit, but you don't know if it'll go down first. So either you got to make the decision, okay, is Bitcoin closer to the bottom than it is to where its top was last October? Yes, definitely it is. We're going to see some kind of resolution for a bottom here within 3 months. But if you're wanting to wait and make sure, then you would wait until this price action got above this cloud and then either came back and retested it or came close to retesting it. See these fake outs that happened at the 51 right here each time? You need a true breakout and a retest of that to really feel like it's ready to go. So it's up to you. You can DCA now, which is perfectly fine, but I would keep some cash on the side. That's what I'm doing personally anyway. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. That way, if it did dip one more time, you could get a better price. But, it's up to you how you want to approach it. You don't have to do what I do. So that's XRP. And you can go to any time frame here, but I'm just looking at the 2-day today to look at a spot play for a positional play. Here's SUI. I'm just going to go over a couple of these here. Okay, so SUI, it actually says no clear edge right now, so it's not giving any percentages down here. But clearly, you're bearish all the way across here, so you probably don't want to be touching this one yet. TAO. Give it a second to load here. The MACD could be turning up here. Volume's kind of low, but you had a lot of volume back here. And it could be turning up. It's got a decent candle here right now. But still, the bullish outcome on a 2-day chart is 12%. Bearish is 42%. So it could still dip back down here to this support. The reason I went ahead and entered is because it touched this last little area here that was support before, but you can clearly see that if it was to come back down to here, it would still make sense, right? You know, for it to come back into this area right here and give us a double bottom. So I think that can still happen, but I went ahead and took a chance. You know, DCA, I didn't put much into it, but you know, I'm okay with DCAing at a support level like that. And if things start turning down, I may take that money back. I don't know, we'll see. Doge. RSI is way down here at the bottom. What is it giving us? A 10 cent. What does that say? Yeah, 10 cent. MACD is going up currently, but it's still bearish. So it's another one of these. It constantly reminds you the 1 hour and the 4 hour must agree. So if the 1 hour and 4 hour are agreeing, then it's telling you it's bearish currently. If these were to turn green, then you'd feel better about taking a position. But clearly it's under the cloud. You know, you don't want to be messing with this one right now, I don't think, unless your strategy is just a DCA, which is perfectly fine. Let's see. I'm going to look at SEI and then we'll look at HBAR, and I'm going to give you two short candidates that would be, you know, if this next dip happens, they'd be really good ones to short. So your MACD is still trending down here. It hasn't even turned up just yet, I don't think. Yeah, it hasn't. Okay. No clear edge on this one. Clearly bearish. You know, you got all your, you can click through, like currently we're on the 2-day. So see how these kind of pop up when you hover over them. If you want to go to the daily, you can click that, go to the 4 hour, go to the hourly. You know, you can switch back and forth. But the 4 hour and the hourly are only really good to make a precision entry or a precision exit. Really, I wouldn't mess with the 1 hour much if you're looking at 2-day and daily. But you know, you could. It's just it's going to chop around a lot. So the daily kind of gives you the same information. You know, it's just going sideways, or there's still a short active. So it will give you a short. It's telling you to manage your position right now, but it will give you a short signal if it sees a good short setup. And I'll show you one more thing here in a second that you can look at you can set a portfolio up. Now this one looks pretty good here for HBAR, and this is the reason why I entered it. It's because look how this nice trend, it's just kind of going straight up. RSI is straight up. You know, volume still kind of trending down. We'd like to see that better. In fact, it probably tells us something about that down here. Volume is mixed, needs volume, yeah. So it's kind of a mixed bag. 4 hour looks really good. 1 hour has some bearish pressure, and the daily hasn't shown bullishness yet. The only way this would turn bullish is probably if this thing gets above the 2151 cloud. And you can put your support resistance lines on. And so this provides you an opportunity where, say if you enter down here and you saw it rejecting up here, you could just get out. Or if it closed back below the support line, you just get out. And then, you know, you're just playing it safe. But if you're a position trader and you're holding till the next end of the next bull market into 2028 or whatever, then, you know, buying at these levels is not going to bother you if it drops just a little bit more, because we're much closer to the bottom on Bitcoin than we are to the top. You know, we've probably only got 3 months left max if, you know, if the timing ends up playing out the same as it always has. Okay, let me just show you those two. I'm going to show you the portfolio feature on this, and then I'm going to show you, well, I think that's the last thing I'm going to show you, but let me show you these two short ideas. Where's it at? Okay, so Ake, I believe this one's already showing 4 hour and 1 hour, showing that a short setup is coming. So bear case is right around in here, which that makes sense. You know, there's a little shoulder there. So it makes sense where it has that first profit take if this short works out. Now it's still telling you that it could come up here to this resistance one more time, create a double top, but the 4 hour and 1 hour are still showing you. See how this is rolling over? MACD is trying to roll over. Let's look at 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hours actually already rolled over. RSI is coming down. What is our RSI at? 46, so it's actually bearish. So if you lose this support right here at 0038, then this thing's coming down further for sure. And then we'll look at US is the other one, Talus. Let me go to the daily chart first. So this one, let me see. Let me let the chart update first. You'll know that the chart's updated when this thing stops spinning up here, or this one. And this is just in beta. You know, there's still some testing going on, so I'm going to clean some of this up. But there you go. Now it's saying live right there. So you know that this is live price action. This one could be seeing some exhaustion and rolling over. on the, oh, that's the daily. But you've got nothing on the 4 hour or the 1 hour cards here telling you that it's ready yet. So we'll click on the 4 hour. Yeah, it's rolling over there. 1 hour is kind of coming up, but you can see it's lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So it's losing momentum for sure. But it doesn't mean it can't go up some more. I mean, they can still go up, so just be aware of that. Okay, so let's get back to the main screen here. Here's what the main screen looks like. It gives you plenty of information. I just wanted to show you the portfolio, or sorry, the watch list, what I was going to show you. So I've already got my watch list set up here. It'll tell you when to manage your short, like when to, if you've got an open position here, to take partial profits. And this is based on, you know, the settings that you set for it to begin with, whatever your take profit areas are. It will automatically set take profit areas for you, but you need to set them for yourself, I believe, for something like that. Soon Network, Ondo, and Velo are both on the daily chart here, waiting for bullish closes. So those are ones that you can watch. And here's some that aren't, there's really no clear trade on them just yet. And then this is what the main page looks like. You've got access to, you know, perpetual, spot, you know, and it'll give you, you know, here's a buy zone, short zone, things like that. So if you're interested in joining us, it's $99 a month. I'll have the link below. You can come test our, you know, test this. It actually works right now. It works fine, but there's just some things I want to tighten up. I am testing it to get the very best settings that we can for it, so where it can give you the earliest signals as possible. And you will get notices like this, like important notices for tokens. Little card will pop up here that you can read, or you can set alerts, you know, alerts that'll come through, and it'll tell you certain things going on in the market, so that, you know, you're kind of in the mix as far as that goes. You know what's going on with your token that you're following. Okay, so yeah, joining the Discord, you get this for free, and in the future, you know, we'll kind of change the pricing up for it and things like that. But we'll do full launch October on something like this. In the meantime, you know, we talk in Discord all the time. You know, things like that. I'll post some things in there. So if you're interested in joining us, just join us. Okay. Well, y'all have a good rest of your week. I'll try to do another one of these soon, just to kind of talk about what I'm seeing in the market. But yeah, I think within the next 3 months, we'll see a bottom, if the bottom's already in. You know, one of the analysts in our group, T Insight, which actually I really want to show you her page here, because she just did a video you'd probably enjoy watching. So this is her right here. It's at Tatiana Tirza. And she just did this video right here. So this would be a really good video for you to watch if you want to check it out. Okay, y'all take care. I'll end it there.